episode 90 of 15K Plus Random Movie Reviews, the podcast where we take a random movie from Metacritic's all-time movie list. This is Colin.
This is Niall.
This is not a random movie. This is a recap of all our movie we reviewed from 81 to 89. Episode 81 was Spirited Away. I had an average score of that to be 4.375 out of 5.
Yeah, a score of 4.0625 to be precise from myself. I love this movie so much. I've seen it like, I don't know, it must have been 20 years ago originally, and loved it then, and that love has not died at all. And I got my eldest kid to watch it with me, and she adores this as well. For the same reasons I love
That's
it.
nice.
Yeah. So it's
nice.
just such a nice movie, isn't it?
It is. You know what I bought? I don't know if I told you this, but I was on Amazon and I just typed in Spirited Away, and there was a bag of 40 soot things.
Do they run around the place and help you?
No, they just sit there looking at me. So there's like 40 of them, and it's like €5 for 40 of them. They're mainly, they come with little stickers, so you put them on your car dashboard, but I don't have a car, so I put them on my work desk to make me feel sane when I don't feel sane.
Very cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's quite good.
That actually kind of reminds me of something I've seen in the office where I work now. Downstairs is a cafe, and there's a little tip thing, and it is No Face holding out his hands. You put the coin in, and it drops down, and it goes.
No, he doesn't. Does he?
It's amazing. I forgot. I should have told you this before. It's absolutely amazing. It's actually run by a Japanese family. Few girls.
Okay, that's cool.
So I seen that. I thought of you and forgot to tell you, but it's so awesome. I really want to steal it.
I thought you were going to say that you put the coin in and he just opens his big mouth and gobbles it in.
No, it drops into a tray and he goes.
That's great. I like that a lot. Favorite scene? What kind of sticks out in your mind from this?
There's a lot. I love the train. And it's not because a lot happens in it.
Nothing.
It's just so relaxing. They're sat there, the big baby, the witch's son has been turned into a mouse, and he's so cute. He's got a little companion who's a fly, and he's just sat there with him. And No Face is there, and the girl is there as well. And it's just nice. And there's scenery going past. It's all beautifully animated. It's just perfection. I love it. I love the music that's played during this scene as well. Nothing happens in it, and I kind of love that. It's a weird thing to say.
No, I think it's noted for one of the best scenes in the movie, just because of its quietness and stillness and the spookiness of the spirits that are around them in the train carriage. But they're going along a normal Japanese countryside, and it's just beautifully shot. It's a beautiful scene.
It is.
I just liked in general just the creativity of the spirits that you see and just the little details.
Yeah.
I love the soot.
The soot guys. Yeah, they are awesome.
I love soot. They're amazing.
And I like the frogs are amazing. I love the radish demon.
Yeah. Who's a nice guy?
He's a lovely guy. Press the right button for her.
Yeah.
It's just, there's a million different things in this. Just every time I see it, it puts a smile on my face. Every little detail. Just so cute, so gentle, so lovely. It's an amazing movie.
Yeah. Fury and Pride on Metacritic agrees. They gave it 10. Spirited Away is not just any movie that you watch while playing on your phone. It's the kind of movie that you only realize the grandeur after seeing it 2 times. The story and cinematography is beautiful. When I saw it for the first time, I realized that this movie has grown with me, and every time I see it, I remember childhood.
Yeah.
This guy called One of JW gave it 10. He said, I was probably on crack when I originally rated this at 3.5 on Letterboxd.
But yes, you were, buddy. That's a bit of a jump.
Yeah, it jumped out at me as a weird sort of review.
Yeah, I was probably on crack. Yeah, I don't know how you miss the brilliance of this.
Although here's Shiro Kuma 2077 giving it 2 out of 10. Spirited Away was a huge letdown. Everything feels unexplored and left out. I feel like I missed an entire anime behind this. The movie is just about a young girl working chores to find a way to survive. Everyone reacts in the most unrealistic way to everything. The worst part is where Chihiro was told to recognize where her parents were in a group of pigs. She replied, "They aren't here." There was no reason for saying that. And Studio Ghibli replied, "At the last moment, Chihiro can tell the difference because she has overcome the obstacles and mastered the living energy."
Sure.
Yeah.
I think he misses the point of the movie. It's kind of about a girl who's moving town. She's annoyed at her parents, and it's how she deals with it. And the fact that it's mystical just makes it all that easier. That's my take.
You tell him. Yeah. Somebody gave it a good review and just said, despite Haku being a shallow, lifeless husk, etc., etc. So he likes it, but he thinks Haku was a bit of a lifeless character, which I guess he comes across as that because he's a river spirit.
He's a goddamn river, goddammit. Don't expect.
Yeah. So he's not very emotional.
Amazing conversation from a river.
No, and he's got a lot of stuff on his mind. He's doing missions for Baba. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. And yeah, I did notice that. Baba, well done. I did notice him being sort of like a very one-dimensional character, but I sort of, well, that's because that's who that
there are a few characters in this that are kind of one-dimensional, and weirdly, I'm more than okay with. I love the heads. It's not about character development. This story. It's about.
Does it matter? Does it really matter what happens to any of the other characters apart from Chihiro?
Not particularly. No.
No, it's a magical trip for her.
Yeah, she's been eating mushrooms.
Yeah. Well, she has her fancy glowing headband that Yubaba's sister gave to her, so it was not a dream, it was real. Just like our lives.
No. These are terrible, boring dreams.
Well, I've got a magical hairband. I don't know about you.
No.
No.
I just have aches and pains.
Aches, pains, and automobiles.
Yep.
Yarp. Speaking of Yarp.
Nice
episode
segue.
80. Yeah, it worked. Episode 82 and 83 were our Halloween specials. And 82 was Shaun of the Dead, meta score of 76, meta user score of 8.2. I gave it an average of 2.9375.
Oh, so did I. Hey,
weirdo. So here's the deal. Obviously, you think of Shaun of the Dead and say, yeah, good movie. 2.9375 might seem a little harsh. Why did we give it that and not 4?
Well, we pegged it a bit on the acting. Well, I pegged it down to 2.5 on acting.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I gave 3 for acting.
I'm not entirely sure why. I thought Peg was fine. Frost was fine, but everybody else were kind of cack.
Kind of, yeah. They need to maybe gear it up a little bit. They're all zombies. What do you expect?
Bill Nighy, I expect more of. Bill Nighy, sorry, not Nighy. Is it Nighy or Nighy?
No, it's Nighy.
Nighy, okay.
Nighy, yeah.
I expect more of him. He was okay, but he's an actor I kind of respect. He doesn't really do much. And the friends are all a bit
Well, yeah, they are a bit meh, but I thought it was fine. I gave it 2.5. I guess that's where it comes down for me for the plot. I think it's a generic sort of zombie movie, which kind of loses its way in the second half, to be honest, which I think I remember saying this. I really enjoy the setup to the entire zombiness.
I love his planning sessions where they go through what we're going to do, and then we go get my mom, and then we'll get the girlfriend, and then we'll go to the Winchester and wait for it all to blow over. Picks up
have a nice pint.
It's an amazing scene. I love that scene.
It's very well done.
After they enact the plan and they get to the Winchester, it's
a bit stale. Yeah, like they get the entire movie to get there, and they really need to Like the only other obstacle that gets in their way is they go through the back gardens, and it's just I need more. I need to cut down on the first half a bit if you're gonna do a bit more zombiness.
Yeah, I agree a little bit. I still like the plot. I give it 0.25 more. But
Yeah,
yeah, they could have done more at the end of it. It's a good movie. I enjoyed it. I don't
yeah.
enjoy it as much as I used to, if I'm honest.
It's diluted a bit in age.
Mm.
A lot of comedies do that, really. I
Now,
believe.
that said, I have watched the second part of the current Netto trilogy, Hot Fuzz, recently enough, and it holds up well. It's very good still.
It's
a
the
better
strongest of the trilogy. Yeah.
Oh, well, the third one is awful. Yeah, Hot Fuzz is great.
Yeah. Yarp.
Better cast, way better cast.
Isn't that Pierce Brosnan or something? Or Timothy Dalton?
Timothy Dalton and a different Bond.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
amazing in it. He's so funny. I'm a slasher of prices. It's like he gets all the best lines in that movie. It's a great movie.
You can just think of Simon Pegg going, Timothy Dalton was my James Bond growing up, so therefore I'm going to get him on this one.
Absolutely. And he's absolutely perfect.
Well, if you're around Halloween time, no, but if you're around the Halloween time and you want something that's not scary and you want to get a few laughs, Shaun of the Dead's fine.
You can do an awful lot worse. An awful lot worse.
For sure. But Evil Dead 2 is quite funny at times. I
prefer Evil Dead 2 to this by a long way, which is a weird thing for me to say. I love the Evil Dead 2.
I actually gave a little bit more. If I look up to episode 61
I give more
on the spreadsheet.
to this to Evil Dead actually as well.
Yeah, a little bit.
There's better comedy in Evil Dead.
Yeah, I think
it's a bit slapstick.
I think we go into Evil Dead 2 with a different sort of expectation. You go into Shaun of the Dead, it's a comedy before a horror. Evil Dead
there's no horror. At all.
Yeah. So in essence, Shaun of the Dead is slightly still a good movie, but sort of falls short when it needs to deliver a little bit more in the plot, sort of bolster its humor and stuff.
Whereas the follow on, the Hot Fuzz is straight comedy and it nails it. Whereas this kind of misses the mark somewhat at times. It drags on. It drags on.
Yeah. Movie Fan 98 gave it 6 out of 10. They said Shaun of the Dead is very witty for a zombie film as it teaches survival with or without ideas, but as some... What the hell? That was a stupid review.
Good choice.
Yeah, I saw a 6 and I was like, I'll read this one. 7 out of 10 from Royal Guy 07. I think Royal Guy actually I mentioned in the last thing.
I think you might have.
Might have to get him on as a standard reviewer. He says the genre blending is fun, but it never quite got all the way there for me, which is quite a generic statement, but I know what he's talking about.
Bang on,
yeah. I need to keep a track of Royal Guy 07.
That guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. I'm looking for a bad review here, but there's not too much. I think it's more of a fan favorite than a review, like a normal reviewer favorite. A lot of 6s from people.
Yeah, so I think that's about right. I if you'd asked me when it first came out, I probably would have given it substantially more. But I think I don't know. It hasn't aged. The comedy hasn't aged all that well. It's not as funny as it could be.
The movie guys gave it 0. They said Shaun of the Dead is a tasteless, disgusting piece of work with very little redemption or justification for all its gore. Its plot points are stupid and hypocritical. The characters are some of the most annoyingly stupid people I've ever seen on the screen. They are kind of stupid. And the movie feels decidedly incompetent. One of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Harsh.
Very harsh. Don't think they like gore, the movie guys.
No. God, like it's not... Well, I suppose it is gory, but it's kind of almost playfully gory.
Like
it's not disgusting. Really,
apart from the guy gets ripped off.
Ripped off.
Ripped off. Where's me $5? Ripped apart. Yeah.
That's slightly gory, but again, I didn't find it disgusting. Maybe I've been desensitized.
Oh yeah, for sure we have. Speaking of gory, weird
Oh,
things, the next episode is episode 83, The Thing from 1982. Metascore of 57, strangely enough. Meta user score of 8.7. I gave this an average of 3.5 out of 5.
3.65. This is just the harken back to a movie we just reviewed in our last episode. This is one of Tarantino's favorite movies, would you believe? And I understand why completely. And he tried to replicate it in a Western.
Mm-hmm.
The Hateful Eight, I think it was called.
That's right. Yeah.
So he does it scene by scene, and it's identical if you follow it, and it follows it minute by minute as well.
Yeah.
He just nerds out massively in it, and I can understand why. It's the tension in this movie. Oh,
bum bum.
It is good.
Bum bum.
Yeah.
I do admit that we got a bit confused during our episode about all the characters' names.
Oh, we did. There's a lot of characters, and they all die at different points, and they're disappearing, and then
Johnny
somebody's
did
gone.
this. No.
Yeah, it's almost like playing Cluedo and trying to figure out who's where and what's the mortar implement, and it's a lot to keep in your head.
Yeah. I enjoyed this, and it's like one of these movies I just don't remember watching 20 or 30 years ago, and I enjoyed the monster mutations. I thought they were going to be cringe or a little bit stupid,
Holds up
but
surprisingly well, doesn't
very
it?
well. Very well. I was
I
very
think
happy
it's
with that.
practical effects and not stupid CGI.
Yeah, for sure. It was really good, and I think they got an award for it. I can't remember, but yeah, it's tense. It's like, who done it? Who is it? Who's the alien? Great acting by the dog.
Isn't it? At the very start. He's amazing.
Yeah, great actor. Royal Guy 07 is here as well, reviewing this. I think Royal Guy 07 is actually us because he gave it 9 out of 10. He said, never has a monster movie thriller shown such restraint in letting the thing seemingly disappear from the screen for an extended, almost hour-long sequence. The performances and settings is so good, as is the ending.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I don't think the monster actually, while it's fantastic when it's on screen, I don't think that's the important part of this movie. It's the tension between the characters who just don't trust each other. And that is what is just golden about this movie. I love that. And it's acted to perfection as well. Apart from maybe the dog man fella.
The dog man, yeah.
I don't know what, I can't remember his name. The guy who looks after the animals.
Yeah. Well, no, you're not supposed to. We'll give you that for not remembering the dog man fella. Keen X gave it 6 out of 10. He says he's going to catch flack for this, but
yep.
He feels the pacing feels slow while feeling like it's progressing far too fast, which is kind of juxtaposition, whatever.
Isn't it? Yeah.
But with the scenes carrying, much like a roller coaster in a way, but with the scenes carrying no tension in it. I don't think the format isn't the optimal length for the movie. A miniseries would have been killer. I don't find the monsters to be scary. The idea of the monster and tenseness of wondering who's infected was far more thrilling than the movie itself.
Well,
I'll take my lashings, but it didn't feel right to me.
The monster, it doesn't matter if it's scary or not. That's not the point. It's the paranoia.
Yeah, but I felt like the outburst of the monster mutations were quite satisfying to me.
I love the spider head thing.
Scrambling at the door.
And, I can't remember the guy's name, but he goes, "You got to be effing kidding me."
Yeah.
It's such a great line. And he's right. A spider head just walked past you. Yes,
yeah, exactly.
That's effed up. F this shit.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I don't agree with Keenex. I think it is definitely tense, and I think it's paced perfectly.
Yeah. I think it's a classic, in my opinion. It's a must-watch if you're a cinephile.
One of our pet peeves, I think, because we're old and get confused easily. Cut down on the cast maybe by 1 or 2 characters, maybe one.
More dogs.
More dog actors.
Save a bunch of money.
Get the littlest hobo in there, and you'll be rolling. Speaking of rolling, episode 84 was Rollerball from 2002. Metascore of 14. I think that's the lowest Metascore we've had.
Is that lower than H&H?
Yeah, because I think a bunch of indie fans loved it.
Oh, they got 79. What the F?
Yeah, because maybe 4 people, I think, reviewed it and gave it an average.
And
Meta user score is 3.4. I gave it an average of 0.25.
You give it less than I did. Jesus. I give it 0.5 because I loved it. What did I give the plot 1? Maybe that's what dragged it up.
You know how many user reviews there are of this movie?
No.
3.
Oh, only 3 other people were forced to watch it.
I'm not going to read all 3 of them because they're all 0.
Good.
Toasty87 gave it 0. He said, stupid, very, very stupid. The plot makes no sense and the camera work is very unprofessional. I agree wholeheartedly that camera work is absolutely
the night
deplorable.
vision scene.
That's funny. That's when you brought that up, I was like, that's so fucking funny.
But that's not intentionally funny.
No.
It's bollocks.
And this is diehard John McTiernan.
Oh, I don't know what was going on here.
Well, he was
problems.
He's put in prison after this, so I think that's why.
He was put in prison because
of this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a great movie. There's nothing good about it. The plot's stupid. The acting's awful. The special effects are ridiculous. The camera work, as just stated, pants. It's garbage.
When you can't make the title of the movie look exciting in the actual movie, you're dead. I went through a couple of clips just to post it on TikTok, and it looks even worse. It's like you can hear the slowness of the rumbling of the rollerblades. It's like, oh, let's throw the ball at a friggin' trombone.
The sport itself is garbage.
It's garbage. It's really garbage.
There's no excitement.
I should have looked at the original movie and see how they shot the original.
Mr. Khan.
Mr. Khan.
Apparently it was supposed to be pretty bad, but nowhere near as bad as this, apparently.
Yeah. Kadeem Love Music gave it 0. He said, oh, John McTiernan, what happened to your film career as a great director?
It's gone. Yeah, he flushed down the rollerball.
He wrote a lot about this. I'm just trying to skim through it here. The director of the film hated the script nearing the movie's completion and caused MGM to reshoot and re-edit the final product of the movie, which was supposed to be released in the summer of 2001. But before the 9/11 attacks happened, the film's schedule had to be pushed to 2002. It's a wasted load of crap. I think Rollerball is the gold standard of it's Batman and Robin on ice.
That's a great line. I love it. Yeah.
Why in the hell did Chris Klein and the entire cast decide it was a great idea to star in this dumpster fire?
Well, Chris Klein's crap, so
yeah, he didn't have much choice.
Yeah, well, like what was this after hanging out with Stifler?
Yeah, Stifler's mom. Alec Kolchak gave it 0. He said, haven't just seen this on cable. I wanted to see if there were any scores above a 1, but as long as I'm here, not even as so bad it's good, just bad.
And yeah, that's the weirdness of it. Like when a movie gets really crap, normally there's a kind of a cult following to it. Where they watch it just for the crapness of it. But this, no. It's just too bad. There's just no redeemable qualities here.
No, it's garbage.
Even but overacting isn't good enough.
Yeah, it's good to see a bad movie once in a while, though. It kind of grounds you.
You need to kick something in the groin just to feel better about your own life.
Well, speaking of being miserable, episode 85 was The Color Purple from 85. Metascore of 78, user score of 8.2. I gave it 3.375 out of 5.
3.3125 from me. It's a good movie.
Good movie.
God, it's a hard watch.
Hard watch. I don't really want to go out of my way to watch it again, to be honest with you.
No.
Oh, let's watch The Color Purple.
Oh, good. Yes, incest and violence, domestic violence. That's funny. And a bit of racism. That's also funny. Yay.
It's it should be called Les Miserables, really.
Yeah, it's pretty much on the...
Down south.
Yeah. It starts off the first 2 minutes. Oh, my God. This is awful. Well, it's great. They're great scenes, but damn, it's hard to watch.
Even the moments of joy, like the songs and everything, just lift you up for a little bit, but then you're back down.
Oh, yeah. You know, that's only temporary.
Yeah.
Something crap's coming.
Yeah, Nick the critic gave it 2 out of 10. He said, easily one of the worst Spielberg movies. It looks like a film aimed at extorting the easy tear of the average low-level viewer. The film that would mean a lot actually says very little. One of those films that you could easily remove from Spielberg's filmography without it losing quality.
Oof.
What do you think about that?
Guess he runs around with a white sheet over his head.
Critique girl gave it 9. She says, very good but depressing. All of the acting and directing was done very well, and yet I don't care to ever sit through it again.
Fully agree.
Yeah, excellent. Yes, we are with you, critique girl.
Yeah, that's bang on. I don't know if I give it 9, but it's a good movie, and I will never watch it again. It's the second time I watched it. I knew it was going to be a difficult watch. I'd forgot how difficult it was.
Yeah. Only has 11 user reviews on Metacritic. Weird.
Yeah, I guess it's one of those movies that can't be a cult classic, because a cult classic is something you watch over and over again, but people don't want to watch this a second time.
Yeah. It's a hard slog, but if you want drama set in that sort of setting, it's a good movie to get watching. Yeah. We'll move on from that then, I guess. We don't want to drag ourselves too down, because obviously our next movie is also a bit of a weepy, emotional movie, but a little bit more fun. There's a lot jolliness,
of hope, and almost fairy tale like storytelling in this. Good old Big Fish.
Yeah, episode 86, Big Fish from 2003. Meta score of 58, user score of 8.1. I gave it 3.875 out of 5.
3.8125. Close enough.
Tim Burton's little fairy tale of a relationship between a son and a father, really.
Yeah, and the difficulties with their communication. But way more than that simple explanation, this movie.
Yeah.
It's the story of his father recounted basically through fairy tales, if you will.
Which is a great premise.
Tales. It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love Hugh McGregor in it as a bit of a naive, sort of happy-go-lucky, fully confident bloke. Brian Cox, fantastic. No, it's not Brian Cox, is it?
You keep on.
Albert Finney.
Exactly.
Me, and I can't get those two men separated in my head.
Are a little bit similar. A little bit.
Yeah. Yes.
Just a little bit. Yeah. The Academy Sins gave it 10 out of 10. He said, The Big Fish is Tim Burton's masterpiece. It's one of my favorite movies. It makes me cry every time I watch it. It's beautiful, it's unique, it's heartwarming, it's moving, and it nails the aesthetic of an American tall tale. You'll never forget this movie. Go watch it.
It's a good movie. If you haven't seen it, I agree with this man. Go watch it.
Yeah,
it's unique.
Yeah, Mamus gave it 10. He says, the movie is sad, but it's also happy. It's heartwarming, but also heartbreaking. It's mature, but also childish. It's amazing and makes me tear up every time.
Yep, I'm not watching it again.
Yeah. Voodoo123 gave it 6. He said, melancholic adventure with its story told through narration, packed to the brim with visual effects and over-the-top sequences. Sadly, the pacing is off, and we never spend long enough with any of the characters to form any meaningful connection between them. What's clearly meant to serve as a metaphor for paternal discourse ends up as a flat and meaningless whimsy. Now, I won't go that far, but I do think there could have been a little bit more exposition, or a little bit more cultivating of the relationships, I believe, in it.
No, I cried enough in this. I don't want any more of
that. Any of that malarkey.
None of that malarkey. It was enough.
Well, yeah, you don't really cry during the movie. It's like the last 5 minutes.
The last 5 minutes just kick you right in the tear ducts. It's a wrencher, all right, at the end.
Yeah. And then Pearl Jam's song comes on, and it just brings you even worse down the rabbit hole of sadness and melancholia.
God damn it.
Anything else? No.
Nah, it's a great movie. You haven't seen it, you have to watch it. That's
I don't know what mood you have to be in to watch it, though.
If you're in a depressed mood, or you've lost somebody close to you, do not watch this.
No, don't. But the storytelling and the visualness of it is joyful to watch too, though.
Oh, isn't it?
Yeah.
Steve Buscemi robbing a bank.
I think it squeezes in the present day relationship between son and dad not too much, and he's too cantankerous to form any sort of conversational flow with his son in between the flashbacks to the stories. So that's my in-depth synopsis. It
Yeah.
could have done being like we could have cried a bit more if more poignant conversations were happening during the movie. But you don't want to cry anymore.
No, but there was one scene halfway through the movie that was kind of a little bit verging on the tear jerking, where
Bathtub.
the bathtub, exactly. But that's only brief.
That's
thankfully.
brief.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's brief, and that's showing a little bit of emotion in the present day. And a lot of the stories are just joyful stories, and
Yeah.
we don't get that. When we flash back to present day, it's just a bit too. It's a bit too stiff sometimes. I would have liked a little bit more emotion in the present day turns scenes. But having said that, it's 3.875, so I'm just trying to.
Nitpicking here.
I'm looking for Shawshank Redemption level qualities here.
Yeah. And not everything can be Shawshank.
No. Episode 87 was Along Came a Spider from 2001. Metascore of 42.
Speaking of Shawshank,
6.7. I gave it an average of 2.25, which is actually higher than I thought I did.
I give it 2.1875. It's not a good movie. It's not terrible.
No, I think. Yeah, I gave it 2.5 for plot and acting, and I don't know why, because Monica Potter's not that good.
Shocking. Voldemort was right to get rid of Miss Potter. It's not great. She's wooden.
And she turns up in the next movie we have as well, so we got double dose.
Yeah,
she doesn't have a lot. She doesn't have a lot to say in that one though, so that's okay.
Yeah,
she's to cry.
Her biggest problem, I think we mentioned it during the review. The biggest problem we had with her, if I remember correctly, was when she transitions, when the reveal happens, and we realize that she's the baddie. Her character doesn't change.
No, she's not very convincing at all.
No, it's like, I think I may have mentioned James McAvoy at the time. Somebody who can transition. You can see a physical change in their character, and there's a different personality at play. Just nothing. It's just her delivering the lines the same. And just try, god damn it.
Give it a go, love.
Yeah, that's annoying. But apart from that, the movie's fraught with brutal production choices. The prosthetics that the kidnapper's wearing at the very start of the movie, I'm annoyed. It's just rubbish. It's fakey rubbish poo.
Yeah, I agree. I think, what did I not appreciate?
The IT stuff.
That's why we gave it 2 for production.
Yeah, production's garbage. It's terrible. We're IT
Zoom
nerds,
in.
so we should know better.
Zoom in on this 480p webcam. Okay. Oh, I can read the prescription bottle from 10 meters away.
Yeah.
Let's go.
There's a lot of issues.
And also when Morgan Freeman figures out the password.
Yeah.
They try to do a usual suspect thing. They do a flashback of aces and high or whatever, aces and twos or whatever the fuck he says. And it's like, I'll try that for the password. Yeah.
As you said during the review, any movie that has people guessing passwords is effing annoying.
Yeah, it's very annoying. Very annoying. Mr. Scallops, whose name I love.
I really love.
Gave it 3 out of 10. He says a groggy thriller based on the classic novel. Lacks real emotion, suspense, and thrill. Wooden acting, even from Freeman himself. The plot is ridden with illogicalities and plot holes. The score is too loud and annoying. Yeah. At least they made Soniji properly creepy. Well, yeah, Soniji, he was okay. He wasn't fleshed out, though.
He was okay, but his dialogue was pants. I think I mentioned during the review that when he calls up, I can't remember the name of protagonist in this, but he calls up the cop.
Cross.
A TV show coming out based on Mr. Cross, I believe, as well. I've seen it on Amazon. Anyway,
there you go.
Irrelevant. When he calls up, it's boring. The dialogue is stilted. There's no conflict. There's no intrigue. There's no God, it's just dull. That's the problem. And that should not be dull. That should be the hook. That should drag you into the movie. That should get you
Yeah,
interested. It doesn't do it.
exactly.
Boo.
Yeah, Razor Moose gave it 5. He said, despite fair acting, Along Came a Spider is a web of imperfections. With likable characters portrayed by Freeman and Potter, Along Came a Spider begins well, but slowly loses its suspense factor due to the faultiness of the script.
Potter is his biggest problem with that review is Potter.
Potter.
Yeah.
You have to watch. Gave it 10 out of 10. They say, this is a brilliant film. Everything about the film is such quality, and this is an amazing watch. How would someone not watch this film? They must have no life. This is so amazing.
Wow. That's the worst review I've heard yet.
Yeah. There's people out there.
There are definitely people out there. Dear God.
Yeah. Episode 88 was Con Air from 97. Metascore of 52. User score of 6.8. I gave it 2.25. The same as Along Came a Spider. Weird. I liked Con Air better.
I give Con Air, I don't know how I give it such a low score. I give it the same as Along Came a Spider as well.
What the hell? That's wrong
And
with
it's
us?
different sub scores, but I give it 2.1875. What the
Something's rotten in the state of Denmark here.
Were we drunk?
What the hell? I enjoy it. You know what? The soundtrack I gave 1.5. That fucked it up.
I did the same.
That's
I did
bad.
1.5 in the plot. I give the soundtrack 2.25.
Yeah.
Production and acting, I give 2.5. I guess that's fair when I look at the numbers. Again, I think every now
But
and
you'd
then,
watch Con Air about it more.
Oh,
You'd
yeah.
watch it again in a heartbeat.
It's as I've said before a few times in a few different movies. It's greater than the sum of its parts. The music doesn't drag it down as much as it could do.
I punished it for having "How Could I Live Without You."
An amazing tune.
Hated it. Sandwiched it entirety. It's at the start. It's at the end.
Directed by
think-
Simon West, the guy who did Rick Astley's song, apparently.
Yeah.
Speaking of amazing tunes.
We've known each other for so long. That's our theme tune.
Yeah.
Well, as I said during the episode, I sat down, I pressed play, and my brain did not go above 22.4% usage.
Yeah. And that's what this movie is. It's explosions. And I think we said, actually, we did say this when we were reviewing, that if you look at it critically and you add up the numbers and you look at the plot, the acting, and the production, it's a bit crap. But as you say, if you just leave your jaws slightly ajar and just drool, it's really enjoyable.
Yeah.
The weird movie in that respect. It's like a lot of movies from the 90s, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Explosions. Bruckheimer produced movie.
Armageddon. Stupid movie. Kind of enjoyable.
The worst movie.
Yeah.
Let me see if there's any. Oh, this username is amazing. Damp Ferrets gave it 7 out of 10.
Awesome.
I'm just picking people with good names. Such an amazingly terrible movie that takes so many cliches, so many plot holes, and so many unrealistic scenarios and pumps them up to 11. Cannot recommend enough. Well, you can because you gave it 7, so you could recommend it by giving it 10.
I agree with his review, though.
True. Yeah.
Terrible movie. Great to watch.
Yeah. Toasty87, who we gave one of his reviews a read earlier, he gave it 8. He said, rented it back in the day and again a few months after. Really enjoyed it. Put the bunny back in the box.
Hey!
Way.
Very good.
Matt Brady says, when Nicolas Cage tells you in a strange southern accent for you to put the bunny down, you should first ask questions about where he's from and then do what you've been told. Seriously, though, he's a unique human being.
That's exactly it. Nick Cage is a strange fish. Not a big one.
Not a big one. Strange fish in a big pond.
Yeah.
Steven, 1981, gave it 1 out of 10. Con Air is filled with extreme levels of violence and profanity that beggars belief and stupidly over the top and still manages to be nothing more than a buried pile of turd. Avoid this.
Well, I disagree. I love his
film.
review.
Yeah, his review is great.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Watch it. Maybe if you're younger than we are by a couple of decades, you'll think it's shit. It's quite possible, actually.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I'll probably. That's the thing about it as well. I will forget about this until I look at the list of movies we've reviewed and go, "Oh yeah, Con Air."
Yeah.
Somebody says it's a hilarious film. I gave it 10 out of 10.
Hilarious. It has Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi in a weird role where he sits down with a little girl in a swimming pool, and it's quite weird.
Got the whole
world in his hands.
He elevates this movie for me. He adds an extra dynamic to it that you wouldn't expect. Love him in it.
Yeah, no, it's good. He did well to sort of try and spruce it up, but it didn't help us on our ratings.
No.
I blame the acting. I blame Nicolas Cage's strange southern drawl, and I blame Trisha Yarwood's "How Can I Live Without You." Sorry, Con Air. You deserve more.
I smashed it on the plot because the plot's crap. To be honest.
How can it be crap? It's an airplane full of cons.
Now
Air.
I get it. Sorry. I must give it 5.
No takes backs.
It'd be like reviewing Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah.
You can't give the plot more than 1. It's a stupid
Why not?
plot.
It's Snakes on a Plane. It does exactly what it says on the tin.
That's it. You get the tin. That's it. But I love that movie because what surrounds the really, really crap premise is just stupidity and funny stupidity.
Movies.
They're
Can't
weird.
live with them.
Yeah.
Can't live with them. Last movie in our 8th decade here is number 89, last week's True Romance from 93. Metascore very low at 59. User score 7.9. I gave it 3.4375.
And I got a 3.5625.
You're never going to beat your Summer of Soul rating that you gave in episode 1, 4.5.
I just looked at there about 10 minutes ago and I'm like, yeah, that was a mistake.
Well, it was our first episode. We didn't know what we were doing. Still don't.
It was super enjoyable. I'd stick by giving it a high score, but
it's a documentary 4.5 though.
Yeah, that's different from a movie.
Yeah, you see, you gave The Big Lebowski 4.4. You gave Good, the Bad, and the Ugly 4.4375. You nearly topped it, but you just need to fucking plan out your ratings more.
Yeah, but that's cheating. I can't decide. Well, I can't give it this much because of the other stuff.
Yeah. True. I think our rating categories are perfect the way they are.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't think there's anything else. We could have added in cultural relevance or something to like Con Air and stuff, like things that made more sense back when it was released, you know, or historical importance of 0 for Rollerball or whatever.
Yeah. Cringeability.
No. Yeah, I think plot, acting, sound brackets, track, and production. I don't think sometimes I don't think we delve too much into sound brackets track. I made that the way it's not just the soundtrack, but the actual sound. But a lot of movies don't really stand out for like their sound effects, like the mastery.
You should have
sound.
A special category for footsteps.
Actually, I haven't been annoyed for a while.
No, that's true. That's true. Footsteps are all wrong.
What's your pet hate? Password remembering, password guessing?
Body violence. Or not body violence.
Oh, body horror.
Body horror. I hate it. That's just a genre thing as opposed to a pet hate, really. I can't be doing with it. People cracking their knuckles. Don't be at it.
You're not going to be watching that new
Knucklecracker 2.
Knucklecracker 2, The Revenge. Who's Sarah 2. This time it's not personal.
Did not like that movie at all.
Yeah. True Romance.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that's what we're reviewing. Yeah, great movie. Like Tarantino scripted, unfortunately not directed. Mr. Tony Scott directed. Stellar cast. Like
great
really,
cast.
Really good cast. Apart from one guy, which we try not to talk about.
No, I don't want to know. I don't want it to be remembered. He's the human resemblance of fake footsteps.
Embodiment of fake footsteps.
Yeah, embodiment. Yes. Our friend Royal Guy reviewed this. He gave it 7, and again, I just agree with everything he says.
Wow.
Definitely can feel the very early and mixed Tarantino vibes. Second half is a lot better. A lot of fun and unique performances that aren't necessarily perfect, though.
Agree completely.
Yeah.
And the fact that it wasn't directed by Tarantino would excuse some of the not great. I think if Tarantino had directed, because he previously directed Reservoir Dogs just the year before, and that's a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we'd be looking at closer to 4 as a total average if he'd done it.
Oh, yeah.
Not massive difference, but enough to elevate it above a lot of other movies.
Yeah. Well, like, if we ever get Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, or Inglourious Bastards, there'll be 5s in there for me. Like, they're like all my
Glorious
top
Bastards
5.
will get a 5.
Yeah, all my top 5 movies like will be 5s across the board, and they're in my top 5, I believe,
Yeah,
along with Shawshank.
Tarantino knows how to direct and write a movie. There's no question about that.
Yeah, I think maybe we should treat ourselves and put all of Tarantino's into a list and pick randomly one of his movies at some point to give us a nice little break.
Oh, was that? There is one movie I don't particularly like.
Death Proof.
Death Proof. That's not great. I actually stopped watching it. I know that sounds terrible, but I didn't like it, and I don't. And it's got a great cast, and it's got one of my favorite actors driving the car, and it's just, I just couldn't get into it. It's weird. Every other Tarantino movie I adore. Death Proof, nah.
That's fine. Our Bonaventura gave this movie 0. They said, "This is one of the worst movies I have ever had the misfortune of seeing. I am shocked and appalled at the other mostly positive user reviews. The writing is horrendous and totally laughable. Only teenagers or idiotic buffoons could enjoy this. It's just plain bad. No ifs, ands, or buts about it." It doesn't really go into why they.
He doesn't enjoy the dialogue.
That's, yeah. Somebody else gave it 0. Titanically indulgent mess. Tarantino are normally a writing genius and loads is every juvenile fantasy, is every cheap cinematic crush on the true romance. Apart from one excellent scene between Walken and Hopper, that's true, the writing itself is laughable and defies the brilliance of its author at every turn.
I very much disagree with him. The fact that Tarantino is always offloading his childish fantasies in all the movies he's ever made makes them brilliant. So, yeah, shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up.
One more. No, screw it. I can't see anybody else that's written anything funny or positive, but there's lots of big scores from users.
Nobody called Squidgy Hamster or Soggy Toast.
No, there's nothing that stands out. I'm trying to find somebody that name should be funny, but there's nothing there.
Damn them all the hell.
Yeah, nothing at all. Meth Dude.
Hey.
10 out of 10. True Romance is a classic. Visually impressive action sequence. Amazing soundtrack. One of the best ending standoffs I've seen. Deserves its title of a classic 90s flick. Calling flicks in the 90s classics now? Shit.
Damn it.
I
guess it is a classic. What? How long ago
only
was
10
it?
years ago,
crap. Right? No. 31 years ago. Mother. Fuck.
Good God.
I remember when this came out. God damn it.
Well, just like our podcasts and just like life, we've gone past another decade without realizing it. Grown older as we do it.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what? Keep you happy though. Next week is Christmas.
Oh my God, Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
Merry effing Christmas to you.
I'll say it to you in the next episode. So we've got a list of Christmas movies and we're going to just randomly pick one. Last year, do you remember the 2 movies we watched?
There was something about a Santy trying to eat people.
Santy. Santa Claus for all the international.
I do believe I made the same mistake last time around as well.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the other one was. Oh, of course, the Christmas movie.
Yeah.
The only Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Yippee-ki-yay. Back, if you had to guess, what number episode do you think those were?
Well, subtract 52.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. 38 and 39. We did Die Hard, and then we did Rare Exports, A Christmas Tale.
Oh, my God. It was both brilliant and terrible at the same time, that movie. It was such a weird
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I gave it 2.25 out of 5. I don't know why, because I remember it being terribly worse than that.
It had its moments.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to our episodes usually come out every Tuesday, and this year Tuesday is Christmas Eve. So nobody's going to listen to our podcast, but we'll pick one anyway. And then the following week is New Year's Eve, and we will get a list of movies that are based around New Year's Eve and see which one we come out with there. I already ChatGPT'd a list of New Year's Eve based movies to see what we get. But here we are with a Christmas themed movie first. So let's roll the dice and see what we get.
Cool.
Random movie 14 from this list is a 1983 movie called A Christmas Story. Now, I'm not sure you've watched this movie.
I have not. I'll be honest, I've never actually heard of it.
That's good, because I had never heard of it until I was married into an American household. And this movie is crazy popular in America. And
Really?
crazy popular for the city of Cleveland, where I have ties to, and you have been to
I
as
believe
well.
I've been there, yeah.
So A Christmas Story it's a very simple movie, but it's actually really funny, and I don't find a lot of things funny. If they're not funny, I don't laugh and I don't enjoy them. But it's just based around a simple family story, and the dad in it I think you'll really enjoy. And I think the little stories throughout the thing, it's just really simple, but lots of funny little elements and just kind of nice as well. I think your kids will really enjoy it too, actually, to be honest with you. I think they're the right age for it.
Okay, so there's no violence in this.
No crazy Santa Claus in Finland. Yeah. So it's based in the house that you see the outside of is in Cleveland, and it's a real house, and it's turned into a museum. Yeah, it's a very popular thing. So the summary in Metacritic is: this delightfully funny holiday gem tells the story of Ralphie Parker, a 1940s 9-year-old who pulls out all the stops to obtain the ultimate Christmas present. Doesn't really tell you a lot, but it's funny.
Is it got a suitcase of cocaine?
It's not. It's a BB gun.
Oh. That's exciting.
Take somebody's eye out of that. That's part of the movie. The Metascore is 77 and the user score is 7.8. I wonder I wonder what number it is, and actually out of the 16,000 odd movies that are in the list. While I'm thinking about this, I'm hoping maybe we can get a special guest in from Cleveland to fill us in with a lot of Cleveland insights into how this was received in Cleveland, how it's looked back on now, and maybe some connections to Cleveland that we have no idea is about. And then I'm quite excited if we can pull that special guest off. I don't want to pull it.
I'm sure he'd be excited to be.
And on that bombshell. How can I rephrase that?
That's not very Christmassy, Colin.
No. If we could pull that cracker, then maybe it's not any better.
Stop digging.
If I can email this person and see if they'll agree to be on the episode, that'll be great.
That's better.
Yeah, that's better. All right. So if you're listening to this, and if you want to be part of Christmas cheer and Christmas spirit, email this podcast to all of your friends and make it to be a chain mail thing, and tell them bad things will happen if they don't pass it on.
Santa will give you coal for Christmas.
Yeah, or you'll have to watch Rare Exports: A Christmas Tale forever.
Yeah, Colin won't pull you off.
We will see you Christmas Eve, when the level of dialogue and conversation will be a lot higher than what we are ending up with here. Hopefully, you never know though. Okay, so we'll see you at Christmas. Bye bye.
Ta-ra.
Chuck.